you don't believe in, you're over here, you're over there. That's why your brain is polluted. You scramble brain. Because you over here, you over there. You create your own doctrine. And you off. You off. You got to accept the word for what it says. And the understanding of what it means. Look at, you don't have no guidelines. All people in this world, they don't have no guidelines. They just do whatever they want to do now. It's getting worse and worse and worse. Not following the laws of the Most High, because He taught you not under the law. You look at your lasciviousness, you stirring up yourself. And you can stir up others, talking to them a certain way. Or even, like I say, we gotta have self-control. Self-control is very much needed. Self-control. And your self-control should have you to operate as an Israelite. Israelites, Yasharallah, every day, not just some day, Sabbath, you go into the phone booth, you go in the phone booth as Clark Clint, you come out Superman on the Sabbath. The other days, you like every other person, I won't say, you're like every other person that's an Israelite, but they're the world. And you worldly, your filthy conversation, your filthy things that you dealing with that ain't dealing with trying to be righteous. On the Sabbath, you become righteous. That's why you look at you look at your talk and you dress a certain way. That can provoke lasciviousness in others. First, it's in yourself because you dress in a certain way, and you causing others to lust after you behind the way you dress. You look at people dressing with dresses that's so tight, you don't have to imagine, ain't no imagination of how they are because it's so tight. You see every curve, you even see the indentedness of every part of their body that they, cellulite and all that. You see all of that. Everything exposed. So you ain't got to have no imagination. You look, there it is right here. Here it is. You can see, they making the clothes, you can see through them. Women don't wear no underwear. You can see right through them. So what you see them, they walking around pretty much naked. They may have a bra on, it may be. If they don't, then they just got a tight fitting dress on with no underwear and no underwear, no bra, no pants. You see everything. Ain't no imagination. That's lasciviousness. They know it when they leave. Before they look at it, look at themselves in the mirror. They know how it looks. You're going to be punished for this, as it is written. Because you acting on things that will draw attention to someone, to yourself, provoking them to sin. And looking at you, especially you with a man, you making a man commit adultery. So look at all the times that this man looked at you, that man looked at you. That's going in the books against you. Bam, that's sin. Boom, you made him sin. Boom, you made him sin. Boom, you made him sin. That they're writing it in the books. When the books open, that could be against you. But see, you don't think that way because you think that you could do whatever you want to do. So I say, lean out on that own understanding. The way you think is off. And men dress in a certain way to draw women to them. This is the world we're in right now. Person acts, they act a certain way. You want attention, you need attention? Get attention from the Most High. Get attention from a Mashiach h.o.d.c, your ultimate attention. Because you better be hoping that He don't visit you. Because that, like I said, that mercy and grace is being lifted up. And we're not going to be able to call on Him. Since you doing the things that's off. And it's like not only in seeing those that are doing this in their everyday life, but they even come into the church like that. These churches, like I said, I see a woman coming out of the church, she must have had drawers on, just underwear on. How small, talk about Daisy Dukes that went around her, just coming out of church with a little something on the top to cover up her little bit of, they always got the cleavage out. You got your cleavage out, then how you gonna say something? You bend down, men looking at everything but your, excuse me for saying, but your nipples. See everything. So how, if you get attacked, you get something happen to you, how you gonna say that is unjust when you are flaunting your body for everybody to see? And if they don't do anything, they lusting, so therefore you have caused them to commit adultery. And that's against you and the man. It's hard, it's real hard. But it's real, it's real. Why you have to care for yourself. That's why you look at the Ishmaelite women or the Arab women in Saudi Arabia in their lands, what they, not here in America, I'm talking about so much, because America is like spiritual Sodom and spiritual Egypt. But I'm talking about in their own land, they dressing like the Israelite women dressed. We the salt of the earth, my second say, which is the flavor of the earth. But see, we don't understand that. We think, we gotta be like everybody else that's wicked and doing what they doing. But you see how they women are. They covered up from head to toe. They covered up. You can't see what it is that you might imagine, because they covered up. Some of you have a veil over there. All you see is eyes. They're with the man. They not. And if they go against that, they be stoned. They put them to death, as it is written. Woman and the man. They have their own laws. It's closer to what the Bible says than what they say here in America. America promotes that. They promote adultery and fornication and the things that are the works of the flesh. Lasciviousness, as we talking about. Strong, lustful demons in high places that's coming down, having you do the things that they would have you to do to take you to hell with them. They want you to burn with them. And our people love it so. That's why you're going to have the sheep on the right hand and the goats on the left. The goats are a mindset. The sheep are a mindset of righteousness, doing what the Most High says we're supposed to do. Or you're going to be a goat and burn where the worms never die and the fires never quenched. Come on. If that's what you're about, then that's what you're about. And when the Most High visits you and start dealing with you in this way, that way, and all kind of ways, you can't say, why am I being dealt with? Because you hate the Most High. You hate His word. You hate what He says do. You want to do your own thing. Do your own thing. But He's going to cast you into hell. And He's going to make you suffer. Some people going to have to suffer before they leave up out of here. Wishing they could die. They ain't going to die. They're going to have to suffer before they die. Harsh. It's bad. That's bad when you have to suffer a long while and before He take you out. So I'm here to warn you. Lust in the flesh. Lasciviousness. Go back to Galatians again, 5:19. Galatians 5:19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness. That's what we're looking at. Lasciviousness. It's the works of the flesh. We can't be doing this. We gotta change. We gotta become a new creature. Because when you're doing this, you know different than saying you believe in one of these idols of the other nations. And especially if you've been taught the truth and you have lived the way you're supposed to live and being an Israelite, and you change to be your own way, you just like a nasty, filthy, McNasty pig that's wallowing in the murk. And a dog that's eating up his vomit, he says. That's what it says. You have been able to been taken out of the pollutions of the world, and here you are going back to it, you're going to receive a complete number of demons, straight up, evil spirits that's dealing with you, whether you want to accept it or not. Because a lot of you, they're just normal to you. Because you say something so offensive, you got to get off of that. Most I have no respect to persons. Hear what I'm saying? He had respect to us as a nation. Not of us as individuals, but as a nation. So don't think the Most High just got you and just think, okay, something good could happen. Okay, something happened to you in your life that you appreciate him for bringing forth to you. Then you're going to praise him, but you got to praise him for everything. So you don't know if it's you being dealt with because he's chastening you because he loves you to get your attention. So from there, let's look at Ephesians 4 and 17. Ephesians 4 and 17. This I say, therefore, and testify by Hashama Mashiach, that's in the name of the Lord and Savior, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk. Hear that? You can't walk like other Gentiles walk. How? In the vanity of their mind. You hear that? In the vanity of their mind. That's how Gentiles walk. In the vanity of their mind, the way they think. You see? He tells us don't walk like them. Having the understanding darkened. See, you can't be in this truth and your understanding is in darkness or ignorance or not knowing. It's like this. I always say, what's the word on you when the book is closed? The book is open. Everybody's into it, or you listen to this from wherever, state or wherever city you listening to it in. Now you all in the spirit. But once the book is closed, how do you apply this in your life? Or do you just hear it for and let it come into your spirit as you hearing it now? Then when the book is closed, you go back to your old man, who you always been. And it doesn't mean anything because you're not operating to change, to let it penetrate in your body, to bring forth a change. Become that new creature, that new man. Be born again. Become that new woman. To be born again, to think different, to act different, to speak different, to think different. So that you are approved of the Most High in our actions and what we do. The way we think, the way we speak is a change for the betterment of us and our names being written in the book of life that we can live forever. Live forever and ever and ever. Having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of the Most High, the Mashiach, through the ignorance that is in them because of the blindness of their heart. The heart is the mind, the way you think. See? Having the understanding darkened. See, that's that Ecclesiastes 3:24. Many are deceived by their own vain, worthless opinion, the way you think. It don't mean nothing to the Most High. And an evil suspicion. Hear that? Evil. You didn't do evil to you because your understanding is darkened. You without knowledge of this word. And you have the word and you don't want to apply the word in your life. So therefore, your understanding is darkened. Being alienated from the life of the Most High, the Mashiach, through the ignorance, not knowing, being dumb, being stupid. That is in them. Hear that? The ignorance that's in them. The stupidity that's in them. Because of the blindness of their heart. The blindness of your mind. Not wanting to take this in. And bring forth the knowledge and understanding that you're going to apply in your life of the Most High and His law, statutes, commandments. Having faith in the Most High by Hashama Mashiach, that you may be able to see the kingdom. And live forever and ever. And not look at your life now, and then after the judgment comes, you're gonna be thrown in the lake of fire with pain, where the worms never die and the fires never quench. That what you want? That's what you're gonna get. Who being past filling, have given themselves over unto lasciviousness. You hear that? Have given themselves over unto lasciviousness, to work all uncleanness with greediness. Hear that? Uncleanness with greediness. You got a desire to be wicked. You got a desire to have strong, lustful, abominable feelings. And your emotions and compassion that you have for unrighteousness have you become the enemy of the Most High, because it's all in the world. The world wants you to do this. They're over there having a good time. So you go over to a good time there, so you know they still having a good time, and your ass being, but you being vexed. Most High dealing with you because he thought enough of you to call you out of the world to his marvelous light, but you still want to remain in darkness. So it says in verse 18, having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of the Most High, the Mashiach h.o.i, as he came on this earth to show us how to make it to the kingdom. Through the ignorance, not knowing, being stupid, being dumb, that is in them. Hear that? The ignorance that's in them. Because of the blindness of their heart, blindness of their mind. You got these spirits in you that won't allow this to come into your mind, because it starts with the mind. You can't say that you got a spirit of the Most High, you roll in the spirit of the Most High, and your mind is off. The way you think is off, according to thus say the Most High. Because you are following these lusts. When you look at, and everything with the Most High is a balance. So you got either light or you got darkness. The light is keeping the commandments of the Most High. First and foremost, Proverbs 6:23. The Mashiach h.o.i is the light. He came to show us how to shine bright and be illuminated by keeping the laws of the Most High and not be in darkness. Regardless of how you look at it, no matter how anybody look at you, if you are keeping the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High, you're going to be illuminated. Let me show you. It's lights. Get Baruch 4:1 in the Apocrypha. Let me show you. Baruch 4:1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth just for a time. No, it says forever. All they that keep it, all they that keep the law shall come to light. Keep the laws of the Most High, you're going to come to everlasting life. But such as leave it shall die. So if you ain't following what he said and doing what you're hearing in this lesson, you're going to die. And that death's not going to be light. It's going to be all darkness. You want to be in darkness, so you want your understanding is darkened, being alienated from the life of the Most High, the Mashiach h.o.i, you're going to be in darkness. But suffering, pain, I got to show you, because people, I'm saying things you might not believe it, because you're leaning on your own understanding. The world say, the goats say what? Follow your heart. Don't listen to them. Follow your heart. Follow your mind. Whatever your mind says, do it. A lot of you been doing that. That's why you have been having your understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of the Most High, the Mashiach h.o.i, through the ignorance that is in them, because of the blindness of their hearts, blindness of their minds, the way you think. So it says, this is the book of the commandments, Baruch 4:1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endure forever. We got to still follow what the Most High says do. All they that keep it shall come to life. But there's a condition. But it's a condition. If it's a condition, such as leave it, you want to leave the laws of the Most High, shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof. See, the laws is light. Keeping the laws of the Most High is light, that thou mayest be illuminated. See? That thou mayest be illuminated. If you're illuminated, then you're not going to be in darkness. You're going to be shining bright as the light. That's what he's saying. So, this is why it's important to follow what the word says, what the Most High said. Ephesians 4:19, who being past filling have given themselves over unto lasciviousness, to work all uncleanness and greediness. Man, uncleanness, you know, immorally impure and vile, as we read about in Romans 1:26 down. And carnal was dirty and unsanitary, uncleanness. With greediness. Greediness to do what? Greedy to do what's wrong or breaking the commandments of the Most High. And accepting it and thinking it's okay. When you're dealing in lasciviousness with yourself and causing others to create this lasciviousness behind what you're doing, and you held accountable. No matter how you think, you are. It's being written in the books against us. If you're doing that purposely or knowing that, after you hear this, you still do it, you are a sinner, and the Most High going to deal with you. That's why you got to be warned. Our people have to be warned. You know, a lot of people have they lost, sensitivity according to the sensitivity of the Most High, how we should be. So they indulge in all kind of impurities and continual lust, and they continually lust for it, lasciviousness, continual lust for it, which is going to be their downfall. Look at 2 Corinthians 12, the 12th chapter, and verse 20. 2 Corinthians 12 and 20 and 21. For I fear lest when I come I shall not find you such as I would, and that I shall be found unto you such as ye would not, lest there be debates, envyings, wraths, strifes, backbitings, whisperings, swellings, tumults. All these things is part of what? The works of the flesh. Unless, listen to verse 21, and least, when I come again, my power will humble me among you, and that I shall bewail many which have sinned already, and have not repented of the uncleanness and fornication and lasciviousness which they have committed. It says you got to cry to the Most High. He's telling you that the Most High he humbled himself first and foremost before he could even cry. Listen, he said, and at least when I come again, my power will humble me among you. The Most High will humble him among them, the children of Israel, and that I shall bewail many, I shall cry for many of the Israelites which have sinned already and have not repented. Have not repented, truly asked for forgiveness of their sins, of the uncleanness and fornication and lasciviousness which they have committed. Serious. So you're going to be grieved. You're going to be crying over the fact that you have sinned, committed all these abominations before the Most High, and not repented, hoping that you repented, ask for forgiveness. He does it in all his impurities and so forth. sexual sins and debauchery in which you have indulged and love to continue to do it. That's that greediness. And if you do this, you're going to be excluded from the kingdom of heaven. Kingdom of the Most High. And that's what this is all about. Making it to the kingdom. Look at 1 Corinthians 6 and 15. 1 Corinthians 6 and 15. Know ye not that your bodies are the members of a Mashiach? Shall I then take the members of a Mashiach? Our bodies are the members of a Mashiach because we Mashiachim. 1 Corinthians 3:23 says that. We members of Mashiach. Shall I then take the members of a Mashiach and make them the members of an harlot? So you take the members of a Mashiach and make them the members of a harlot? The Most High forbid. Emphatically, no. What? Know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body? You join to a harlot, you have a sex with a harlot, you're one body, for two, said he, shall be one flesh. Meaning you have a sex with a harlot, that let you know here, that's marriage. You married to a harlot. Become one flesh. But he that's joined to the Most High is one spirit. See how the spirit working against the flesh? Contrary to the other. You got the flesh, the works of the flesh, and land with a harlot, becoming one with a harlot, and you are going to be dealt with according to thus said the Most High's word. That's why you got to know what he says and how he feels about this. Or you're going to suffer the judgment. Point blank. Look at Ecclesiastes 26 and 22. In the harlot, the harlot is a prostitute, shall be accounted as spittle. In harlot shall be accounted as spittle. But a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. Hear that? A married woman is a tower of tower against death to her husband. That's why it says in Ecclesiastes 26 and 1, blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. A virtuous woman rejoices her husband. He gonna have joy. And he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace, because she gonna be in order. And that peace of a Mashiach of Shai he gonna give us, she gonna be able to have, he gonna be able to have, it's gonna be in order. She's gonna be virtuous. Rejoicing in her husband. We're going to be happy to be with this woman because she's virtuous. Verse 26. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all. A woman that honors her husband shall be judged wise of all. But she that dishonoreth him in her pride, that's the thing you got to look at. In this world that we're in now, exalts pride, shall be counted unrighteous of all. But she that dishonoreth him in her pride, the way she thinks, you got to go back before women's lived, go back to the beginning of time, and you'll see that this world is set up to send you women straight to hell, and in your pride. Because you say dishonor him in their pride, which is contrary to being humble, shall be counted unrighteous of all. Serious. 1 Corinthians 6 and 18. I mean, you're hearing it over and over again because Most High speak once, yea, twice, man perceive it not. You got to hear this over and over again until it hits your spirit and you say, wow, I'm going to change. I'm going to become that new creature. 1 Corinthians 6 and 18. Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. Because it's your body that you bringing forth that sin. Everything else is outside the body. If you do something, you got to grab something, or do something with your hands or whatever. But this lasciviousness, you sinning against your own body. Sinning against the Most High and your own body, your own self. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which ye have of the Most High, and ye are not your own? Hear that? This spirit that the Most High has given us is not our own. For ye are bought with a price. Hear that? You bought with a price. Therefore glorify the Most High in your body and in your spirit, which are Mashiachim. See? And Mashiach is the Most High's. That's why we got to look at it. You are bought with a price. And Mashiach's precious blood was shed so that we could see and not be blinded in darkness and be illuminated with the light of keeping the commandments of the Most High, that we may shine in this darkness that the Most High told Esau to get into. And he made the people of gross darkness, gross ignorance. And you eat them in eyes, you become a goat. The way you think, the way you act, the way you speak. You don't have to be around. You just straight up gonna follow suit of the Willie Lynch and the religious structure of the Negroes and Stockholm Syndrome. You got all three going against us. And our people love it so. See, we got to change. We got to look at what's best for us as a people. And to hell with everyone else, because that's where they're going. You're going to leave a remnant of everybody, but the majority of them going to hell. Look at what Paul says in 1 Corinthians, the 9th chapter, and the 27th verse. 1 Corinthians 9 and 27. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection. You hear that? That's self-control. He keep under his body and bring it into subjection to be subject to righteousness, lest at least that by any means, when I have preached to others the righteousness of the Most High, I myself should be a castaway. That's why Mashiach told us, listen to what the Pharisees say, but don't do what they do. They said one thing and did something different. He said if he do something different, he'd be a castaway. Good for nothing. Look at Romans 8 and 13. Romans 8:13. Romans 8:13. For if we live after the flesh, we done went through that flesh, ye shall die. Once again, for if we live after the flesh, you want to live in lasciviousness, ye shall die. But if ye through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. If through the Spirit you mortify the deeds of the body, what you're doing in these bodies, and being righteous according to the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, and his rules and regulations that we hearing even in this New Testament, you shall live. For as many are led by the Spirit of the Most High, they are the sons of the Most High. You hear that? As many as keep the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, they learn them, they live it and apply it in their life, they are the sons of the Most High, even to them that believe on Bahashem Mashiach Yahushua. See? That's not just a saying, that's spiritual power. That's how we reach the Most High. That's how we receive the power from the Most High. Understand this, overstand this. You know, Paul said, no, I beat my body and make it my slave so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified for the price or the prize that the Most High has given us through Mashiach Yahushua, and the price of how we just read how his blood was shed for us that we can reach the Most High, and the prize of reaching the kingdom. That's what Paul is letting us know. So he wouldn't be a castaway. And we don't want to be a castaway. I hope not. Romans 6:18. Romans 6:18. Being then made free from sin, you became the servants of righteousness. See, when you come free of sin, you doing what's right according to the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, you became the servants of righteousness. What's righteousness? Deuteronomy 6:25. You became the servants of righteousness. What's righteousness? When you become the servants of doing what? Deuteronomy 6:25. And it shall be our righteousness, the subject matter. If, was a condition, as I told you, we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High, our power, as he has commanded us. This is how we come out of this lasciviousness type of mindset, working in the flesh. The book of Jeremiah, the 6th chapter. And look at, let's start at verse 26, and we'll concentrate on verse 30. Verse 26. O daughter of my people, gird thee with sackcloth. O daughter of my people, O women, gird thee with sackcloth, this humility, and wallow thyself in ashes, roll around in ashes, put on this sackcloth, this burlap. You ain't looking good, you're looking really, really humbled. Wallow thyself in ashes, make thee mourning, cry, wailing, weeping, as for an only son. As for an only son, most bitter lamentation, bitter crying. For the spoiler shall suddenly come upon you. The robber's going to come upon you. He said, I have set thee for a tower and a fortress among my people, that thou mayest know and try their way. They are all grievous revolters, walking with slanders. They are brass and iron. They are all corrupters. Sad. Most High made us to be righteous, say keep his laws, statutes, commandments. No. The bellows are burned, the lead is consumed of the fire, the founder melted in the vein. For the wicked are not plucked away. The wickedness of his people are not plucked away, still sinning. Reprobate silver shall men call them. Hear that? Reprobate silver shall men call them, because the Most High have rejected them. Why? Hosea 4:6. Most High has rejected them. Why? Hosea 4:6. My people, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, are destroyed for lack of knowledge. They don't fear the Most High. Fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. So they ain't afraid, they ain't scared of the Most High. That's why they do what they want to do and think the Most High going to accept them as they are. And then when the Most High bring that chastisement to their butt if he love them, or allow Satan to get them because they done drew evil to them, then they want to call on him. But he's going to laugh at you and mock you with the angels, as it says in Proverbs 1:24 down. You don't want this to happen, people. That's why I say my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge. You reject the knowledge that's coming out of this word. I will also reject thee. That's why he said you're gonna be a bunch of rejects. He gonna reject you, as we just read. Because you reject the knowledge that he's bringing forth, you're gonna be a bunch of rejects. He gonna also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest to me. You ain't be no minister to the Most High, no pastor to the Most High, no priest to the Most High, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. The Most High give you the law. We learn the laws through everything that he's dropping in this word. Over and over again, he spoke once, twice, man perceive it not. I will also forget thy children. Wondering why your children is jacked up, because the Most High said you have forgotten the law of the Most High. You don't want to do what's right. He tell you, come out. This subject is lasciviousness, part of the lust in the flesh. You don't want to do it like the Most High said our culture supposed to be, how we supposed to be in acting according to thus say the Most High's word, coming back to who we are. What's the point of being an Israelite? You can't come back to who you are. You can't do what you're supposed to do as he said we're supposed to do. And you think you're gonna try and come some other way. Oh man, that's not good. That's not even good to even think. Woo. That's not a good thing. At all, brothers and sisters. Look at St. John 10:1. This for all you that's trying to do it your own way. It's already laid out. The program been set, is right here in this word. It ain't changed, it's still the same. John 10:1. Verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way. You're going to try and make it your own way. You're going to come into this truth and do it your own way. The same as a thief and a robber. You hear that? The same as a thief and a robber. But he that entereth by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice. See, the sheep gonna hear his voice. They're gonna make that change. They're gonna be born again. They're gonna become that new creature. To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calleth his own sheep by name, and leadeth them out. And when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. See, everybody now is sheep. I don't care if you call yourself Israelite or not. If you're going to do it your own way, once again, verse 1. Verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way. You got your own way when it's already been laid out for how we're supposed to be as Israelites, but you got your own way. My secretary told you in St. John 14:6, said, I am the way. But you're going to come some other way, the same as a thief and a robber. Ain't no thief and robbers going to the kingdom. Let's repent and come back to what he's got to say. But he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. He's at the door. He going to enter at the door. There's a door that can be opened, that he can allow you to come in with him. He's going to let you know this. To him the porter openeth. The man that's at the door going to open it. He's called the porter. He going to open up the door. And the sheep hear his voice, and he calleth his own sheep by name, and leadeth them out. Know his sheep by name.